Hello everyone. So I'm going to do the first tutorial for diamonds. I'll try to recreate this scene the best I can. Yeah, so honestly, the hardest part was probably making the stupid diamond because for some reason, they don't have a simple way to make an actual diamond shape in After Effects. So I just made one in Illustrator because it was just easier to do so. So feel free to download it and use it. You really don't have to credit me for it, but yeah. So I'm going to start off with making a solid layer. We'll make it off-white. Put it behind the lady. Then we're going to make her black and white. If it'll load. There we go. Black and white. You can edit these a little bit if you want the blacks to be darker or not. That's up to you. Alright, so let me show you how to use this layer. So by itself, oh, can't really see it by itself. I'll just turn this off then. By itself, you can't really do much. It's a vector layer. So what we want to do is we're going to right click, create shapes from vector layer. So this will create a perfect diamond. We'll delete that, get it out of our face. Let me just center everything. All right, cool. So next, we're going to, let me just see. We're going to animate the diamond a bit. So I'm going to duplicate this layer. I'm going to add a stroke to it. And then I'm going to take away the fill. So go up here to your bar and cancel out the fill. So this should create a white stroke. Of course, increase it or not, or decrease it. I'm going to start off with it being very big. And then eventually go to like 0. We're going to do this on a few layers. Okay, so next we're going to just kind of do the same steps, but kind of offset them, scale it down, and then we're going to start making our dotted lines. So that's pretty easy to do. We just go to our stroke and go to dashes and enable them. But I don't want the stroke width to be animated. I want it to just be skinty. And we'll just scale this up a bit so it's on the edges. But it is not skinny enough, so I am going to go back in here and go to like 2. You could probably put it right there. Yeah. We could have it just continuously on. We'll go to dashes and animate the offset. So we have our animation pretty much done for this triangle, but we do want the blue to show up because it does end up showing up eventually. So let me just go to the blue. I have the blue saved right here. If you want the color code, you can copy it here. That's another great reason to use Motion V3 because it is very handy, especially for those of you that struggle with color or whatever. I'm going to put it behind this black diamond, and I'm going to scale down the black diamond. Then, just to add some more depth, we will create an even smaller diamond and scale it up. Cool. So since this is the only layer that does not move, we're going to duplicate it. And it'll be our mat for our subject. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it above the image or footage, whatever you're using. Make it an alpha mat. We're going to scale it down and try to place it where we want it. So I kind of want it right here. And I want the ears to show as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the alpha mat layer, grab the pen tool, or you can grab the rectangle tool. For this demonstration, I'll just use the pen tool. And just kind of create a barrier, and then they show up. This is a much easier way than how I taught you guys with Solo. I didn't know it was this simple back then, but thankfully I figured it out. Okay, so I do want to kind of animate her onto the screen, but first I'm going to add a stroke. Since this is a masked layer, we can add the stroke effect. If you are using RotoBrush, you will have to add the stroke by going to right-click Layer Styles and then Stroke. So just remember that if you're using RotoBrush. I'll make it kind of thicky. And I want her to position up. So I'm going to separate those dimensions and have her pump up to the screen. I guess I'll stop being lazy and show you how to do it in the graph. Just like that. Does it need to be up a little bit more? No. Otherwise it shows the blue. Cool. Maybe we'll move this over a bit. Yeah, so it's already looking pretty cool. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to just pre-compose all this together. Catwoman Diamond. This is where we can make the multiple Catwomen appear. So we'll just kind of offset it just a little bit. We'll put it behind the layer so the little ear can come out to play. And we'll put this one above this layer so we can do the same thing. So I think this is a little more symmetrical than I made it in my part. I wish I made it more symmetrical like this, but it all comes with the process. This is like my first part that I did, so I learned a lot more since then. Now we'll put the text. This is just a simple black text. I'm pretty sure I just animated the tracking. So we'll go to the tracking. Just expand it and then have it come in. Oop. Then I went to source text, so I'm going to search that up in this bar here. We're going to animate it so it goes in and out. Maybe I'll do it more over here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You could also 3D the layers if you want. I can show you how I went about animating that. So I just increased the Z-axis and scaled it down. I think I'll have this go back a bit, then scale it up a bit. And then we'll point the 3D camera to the null object and start moving it around a bit. This just adds a little extra movement to it. Oh, the 3D camera had other plans, so we'll go ahead and clean it up a bit. There we go. How does it look full? Yeah, so that's when I would maybe scale in. She needs to be a little bit smaller. I guess she needs to move in front more, since she's supposed to be overlapping her. So these are the little tweaks that you gotta make throughout the project. Ugh, it never stops. It never ends. The only one that's like really in focus is this one, which could be cool. Then I did a hold keyframe and zoomed in. This whore needs to be over here a bit more. There we go. Scale in a bit. Of course, you gotta sync it up with the beat, but this works for now. And you can also do this the 2D way if you don't love the animation here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, the only other things that I added were details, which I'm sure you guys know how to do by now. But if not, I have a few overlays that I actually use in the collab up on my page now. So you should be able to use some of those to spruce it up if you wanted to do a style similar to this. But yeah. The only other thing I could think of is some of the things that I added on it, which was like film damage and by Sapphire, and it's a little exposed, but whatever. And I think I added some camera shake as well. Just like a 0.5, just something subtle. Something dainty. But yeah, that's the first effect. Again, add detail as you please, and I will go into the next effect next week. I feel like there's a few things I can teach you guys for this collab. It was very tedious, to say the least, but thank you, and I will see you guys next week.